Yes, people, welcome to the Spectrum of Health podcast. My name's Jan, and today, guys, we've got a very special guest, one of my good friends from young, former Chelsea, Crystal Palace professional footballer, Mr. Alastair Gordon. Boom. Firstly, I want to thank you. Thank you for coming, joining me. I've asked you about this, asked you to join me on this about how long ago? Maybe like a month ago?
Yeah, about a month ago. We eventually got round to it.
Then you went away, went to Greece and that. So
yeah,
I'm glad to, first of all, thank you for coming down.
No worries, man. Anytime.
Thank you for joining me. It's turned into a little bit of a football podcast now because I've had you, Tariq, and Hiram. And I've got, hopefully, I'm trying to get Jordan Green to come down as well. Yeah, man, cool. So basically, the real crux of this podcast is not just I don't just want to talk about your football life. I want to talk a little bit as well about kind of your mindset during those times as well. And times where you felt maybe, times where you were really high, times where you're low. And then also kind of coming out of football and a little bit about life outside of football and kind of what you've done away from the game, because sometimes, like, you know what it's like when you're in football, it's like you're just in football, innit?
You're in a bit of a bubble.
Yeah, you're just in it.
Yeah,
so,
nothing else exists, man.
So yeah, man. But cool. I want to take it back to the early days, like young Ali. I kind of want to know, like, what got you into football?
Okay, yeah, it's funny, you know, because a lot of people do ask me that question, and I always say it's my older brother.
Okay.
Growing up, he played Sunday league, so he never really played at a crazy level, but he always played Sunday league, and he was always watching football. So ever since I'm born, I've always just seen football, been around football, seen him wear different football shirts, this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
So my dad used to take me on Sundays to go and watch him play.
Yeah.
And then I just wanted to play. Like, I just found myself kicking the ball around in the house with him. Mum and Dad used to get mad, like in the hallway. We used to have a long hallway. So we just used to do like 1v1s and that in the hallway. And then I just started playing myself. I started a bit late though, because I was kicking around with him from about, I'd say 4 or 5. But I didn't get into like competitive football in a team until I'd say about maybe 8, 9. And that was Jason Yu I started with.
Okay, there's Charlton, the former Charlton guy.
JFC. I think they're called Junior Elite now.
Yeah.
So it's the same sort of foundations and that, but they've just changed the name a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's how it all started, kind of thing.
I'm gonna have to pause this 1 second. This thing is looking like trying to fuck up my thing. Let me just see if it's still recording. It shouldn't be a problem. Alright, we're still recording. We're just carrying on. I'll just edit that bit.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So was Jason Ewell the coach, or is it just his team?
What? It's funny, you know, because as a kid, obviously, when I was going to Jason Ewell, I thought, like he's managing and that, but little did I know he was still playing at the time.
Oh, okay.
So
because
he was
young.
at Charlton Athletic at the time when he was in the Premiership. So it was funny. I went there expecting to see him, and I was disappointed when I didn't.
When you didn't see him.
But I mean, he was just like, he kind of sponsored it and that kind of thing. And he'd come every now and again, but not as often as
it's kind of like when David Beckham had like the David Beckham Academy.
You always just assume that
he was never actually there.
He's never actually there, but it's his thing kind of thing. So that's exactly what it was like. But
okay, cool.
Yeah, good team, man. Very good.
So
team.
how long was you playing that football until you got signed by Chelsea?
Okay,
so what was like the journey?
So that was So how it happened is I was at Jason Ewell from, I'd say 8 to about 11. And then I was 8 to about 11. And then I stopped playing. I was playing all the time. Then we got to about under, I think it was actually funny enough, it was under 11s. We got to, and then I just came out of the team and I wasn't playing anymore kind of thing. So what it was, Jason Ewell, they mixed the age group. So it was my age group with the older age group. So now I think what happened is they started playing the older boys a lot more. So then I wasn't playing, blah, blah, blah. Started secondary school and then playing in the playground, messing about. Then we had our football trials. And I was doing my thing, blah, blah, blah.
For the school team?
For school football trials, And then...
And what school?
Forest Hill Boys.
Okay.
Yeah. So one boy called Ryan Hawaii, shout out Ryan actually, he played for Moonshot at the time. So he became my friend in school, whatever. Then at the trials, he was like, who do you play for? And I was at Jason Ewell. So obviously I explained to him that I've been there for a few years, but I've kind of fallen out of favour now. So then he said, why don't you come down to Moonshot? And you know what's funny? I went home to talk to my mum and dad about it, and I wasn't really too keen on leaving Jason Ewell.
Oh, you wanted to stay there?
Yeah, I wanted to stay because I knew that the standard, where it was, a lot of boys got scouted there.
Right.
So I kind of wanted to be there because I still felt like I could break back into the team and get scouted.
Yeah, of course.
Then about a month to 6 weeks went on, and I still wasn't playing. So I thought to myself, now what's going on here, that kind of thing. So went home, spoke to my dad, and I was like, maybe I have to make the move to Moonshot. And my dad wasn't too keen, but my mum was with it. So my mum was saying, nah, you definitely do. Like, you can go to Moonshot and then you can stand out there, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, you're going to play, innit?
So about a week or two after that, I thought, nah, you know what? I'm just going to gamble and go there. The best decision I ever made. Like, didn't look back afterwards. Went to Moonshot, went to my first training session, and our coach down there was called Joe. And Joe literally he just loved me from the first session. And then played a few games with them. Literally, I'd say I played no more than 5 games and I got scouted by Chelsea.
Really?
So a guy called Paul Harper, shout out Paul. I think he's still scouting, but I think he's down at Millwall now, in fact. But yeah, he got me down to Chelsea. So then I went to like an open day ID trial. So like it was a big trial kind of thing, like a showcase trial. So it was a match, about 22 of us, 11 versus 11. And then I got a 6-week trial through that. And then literally done the 6-week trial. In the 3rd week, I got signed.
Yeah.
And that was under 12s. So
okay, wow. That's mad.
So I'd say I was at Moonshot for probably about a season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you made it to Chelsea.
That's it. So it was crazy. It was crazy, man.
So going back to like school though a little bit, Forestall Boys, there's some big ballers come out of there.
100%.
What are some of the names that's come out of that school?
You're making me name drop. Now there's a few even before me. There was I'm not sure if you would know Richard Rufus.
No, I don't know.
He played for Charlton Athletic.
Okay.
Jamie O'Hara.
Yeah. Jamie O'Hara
he went for a
Forestall Boys.
Yeah. It's funny because I didn't know that until about year 9.
I saw him the other day actually. FC Don's game.
So he's local. That's it. He's very local. I didn't know until about year 9. He put up like a picture of his signed shirt, and I was thinking, what? I remember Art Sir, that's it. And then he came to my school. And then now there's obviously the likes of Joe Gomez, Casey Palmer.
Yeah.
They were a few years younger than myself.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of boys that like in clubs and that at the time, and that obviously didn't quite make it like myself.
Yeah.
But it was a very like footballing school, I would say. Yeah.
No, it definitely was, because I remember like school football.
We was the team to be kind of thing. Yeah.
You and Knights Academy was just a myth to play against. There's no school. You guys had all the players. So it's just
that's it. Yeah.
There's just no point, man. Cool.
Yeah.
So like, obviously, we're both from Catford, South London. Growing up, how did you kind of navigate those distractions? Because we hear about all the time where the young boys getting caught up in whatever, and it's affecting their football. Or you get some people that are half trying to do football but still trying to be they want to be messing about with their friends or whatever, and it's easy to get distracted.
Most definitely, yeah.
Obviously, I know you personally. I know you got a good mum, a good dad. Like, what are some of the things that kind of kept you on the straight and narrow path?
And you hit the nail on the head. Like with my parents, they were definitely a big factor as to why I stayed on a level path. Because there was a point when I could have gone either way, because I had like company around me that obviously didn't make the best decisions, and so it was like it definitely could have gone another avenue. But I mean, I sometimes, even till now, I thank God that I went to Chelsea when I did. Because like I say, it was under 12, so it was like the start of secondary school.
Yeah, and
so
that's the start of
that's exactly
the freedom stage.
Where it can go wrong, do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, it's true.
And even then, when I first started at Chelsea, when I had free time and I wasn't training, I was still kind of on the road with my friends that were back then kind of thing. And could have got caught up in certain situations. But I think definitely the distraction of training, because I trained maybe, 3 times a week. And then from year 9, I was even doing day release. Yeah. So I would stay up in Cobham, Surrey, and then like obviously miss school and do the day there. And I think that definitely distracted me and kept me away as well. But sometimes I think if I was at a local team, it's still easy. It's obviously easier to still kind of get into that mess kind of thing. But I think where I was so far away, it was like a blessing in disguise kind of thing, where I could just keep tunnel vision.
Yeah. So in terms of the football side of things, because I asked Tariq the same question. Did you always know you was a good player, or was it like other people always telling you was a good player that kind of made you realise? Like, was you someone that, you get some people, they just like...
Their ego is massive and that,
Or was it like people, you just played and people would always be noticing?
Do you know what's funny? Looking back now, I think my ego wasn't big enough.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I was a little bit too humble, and I think sometimes that there's plenty of factors that I think as to why I didn't quite crack the door open.
Yeah.
But I think that's definitely one of the factors. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
So even as a kid?
Yeah. I think I should have been a little bit... Arrogance isn't good, but I think I should have been a little bit more arrogant.
Yeah.
And I have more of the balance. I think I was a little bit too humble, kind of thing. So yeah, back to what you asked. It was more people telling me that I'm good rather than me thinking, oh, wow, I'm good and kind of doing it like that. And I think I got humbled at a young age because of Jason Yu. Do you know what I'm saying? So I felt rejection there.
Yeah.
So it was almost like that kind of humbled me.
Yeah.
And then I went to Moonshot and I was like the main man there. So it was like I already had that sense of rejection.
So you knew.
Exactly. Where some people don't get that sense of rejection till they're 25.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? Where I learned that at quite a young age. So I think in a way it's a good thing.
It's a good thing,
But at the same time, I still wish I had that little bit more of a bit of a persona kind of thing. You know? In that arrogance way. 'Cause I've always had a big personality.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about in that kind of confidence.
And you know, in football, that stuff, even if you're not a good player, sometimes
it can boost you up. And we both know people that maybe weren't necessarily the best, but they play pro football now.
Yeah, exactly.
And again, like you say, a lot of it might be to do with their arrogance and they think they're the, you know what I'm trying to say.
And that sometimes the personality can carry you.
Exactly.
It can get your name on the team sheet.
100%.
Without really
and that's exactly without having the full ability. Do you get what I'm saying? So that's definitely one thing that I look back on and kind of think, well, yeah.
So you was at Chelsea from 11 to 16,
to 18. Well, 17. 17, yeah.
So sorry, my maths is 6 years,
yeah.
Okay, cool. So the transition from playing at Moonshot to Chelsea. Now, I know, I was at Palace from 8 years old to 18. I hated playing Chelsea because you lot it was just too much. You lot were like robots.
I remember playing against you a couple of times as well.
You lot are like robots, bro. Everyone's fit, everyone's strong. You lot, everyone's good on the ball. Like, what was the transition like in terms of like ability, the training standards, all that kind of stuff, getting into Chelsea?
You know what? It's funny you ask that because don't get it twisted. Like Chelsea was so much talented players, like you just said. But it was like when I went there, I felt like I'd have slotted in.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like definitely there was some much better technical players than myself because obviously they had been there like yourself. They've been at Chelsea for maybe under 8, so they've got the advantage where I've come from grassroots where we're not working on technical ability as intensely as they were.
Yeah.
But I mean, I still felt like I brought something to the team kind of thing. So I don't think it was like a wow and starstruck. It was almost like, this is the level I should be at kind of thing. Do you get what I'm saying? That's how I felt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
saying?
You
had that confidence when you was in there.
Yeah, there. So it wasn't like, oh, this is above me. No. Yeah. It was like, this is where I should be kind of thing. You know what I'm saying?
And so when you got there at 11 or 12, that age group, you had some big ballers in that team. You was playing centre mid or right back at the time?
So I got scouted as a centre mid.
Okay.
So I went Chelsea as a centre mid, and then I fell to centre back, playing centre back for maybe 2-3 seasons.
Okay.
And then what happened is our right back got injured. So now I filled in right back, and they always say the worst thing to ever do is play good in a position that's not yours.
Yeah.
Because you know you stay in that position. So when I first played right back, I hated it. Like I hated that. I was thinking, what am I doing here? Blah, blah, blah. Couple games went on and I was performing well there.
Yeah.
Then I thought to myself, no, I could make this position mine kind of thing. And then it would never look back.
Yeah.
And then funny enough, I got scouted for England in the right back position.
Right.
Yeah, so no, tell a lie. I got scouted for England in centre back, but where I was playing right back week in, week out for the club, Chelsea, when I went to England, I was always playing right back.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? So then it actually became like my position, the right back,
I wish I had that mentality because when I was at 18 at Palace, there was we did like a youth team against 21s and I played right back against Jason Banton. And I remember after the session, Ben Garner was like, oh, you could play right back, you know? Like he was saying, like you did really well, like you could play right back. And I remember we did another session and he put me right back and I played shit on purpose because I was fuming.
Because you do not want to be there. Yeah.
Because I was playing centre forward as under 16.
And then you dropped the right back.
And I was playing out wide in my first year. And now you're trying to put me right back.
Doesn't make sense.
I was like, nah. So I started playing dead, and I remember Jamie Fullerton. You remember the Scottish guy? And I just started playing dead. He was just screaming at me. I was like, nah.
This isn't you, innit? Like,
but you know what? I always look back at it. Like I remember when I was living in America, I was thinking, you know what though? I got the physical side to it. I just need to learn how to defend. If I learn how to defend,
you could have made it in.
You never know.
But
I just didn't. My mentality was like,
nah,
So,
and it's funny you say that because I feel like a lot of people that obviously that we watch in the Prem and that now never ever started off in a position that they're playing right now.
Yeah,
Do you know what I'm trying to say? So sometimes you realize that maybe another position is for you. Do you know what I'm trying
and I mean,
to say?
football's football. If you're a footballer,
that's it. You can play anywhere on the field.
Able to,
you know what I'm saying?
You should be open handle, to trying anywhere. That's it. Yeah, that's true, man. That's true. So, in terms of you adapted quickly at Chelsea. What were the standards like? Because you was at Chelsea, you was at Palace, right? You kind of seen it, and you came to Palace when they were.
I came with my second year scholarship,
so they were still a championship back to promoted.
Yeah, when I came, that's what I think. That's the season we went promoted. Yeah.
So you've seen the standards of both, yeah. Like not in terms of the training and that, but like the staff and that. Like how would you compare the way things were conducted, the way things were run? Obviously, Chelsea's got mad facilities and all that stuff, but like just the way, even though like I like to always use Ben as an example. Even though he didn't have the best facilities and the best stuff, he had a standard that he expected from people. You know what I mean?
Ben, so like, real,
how would you compare the staff at Chelsea and the staff at Palace? And obviously, you can't like badmouth people, but like standards.
Yeah, now of course, you know what? Like you said, you touch on facilities straight away. Obviously, there's a big difference in facilities, and that's obviously because of fundings and money and that, and that goes without saying. But standard of coaching, I wouldn't say there was much difference. You know,
so it's funny you say that.
I think at Chelsea we definitely worked more technically than we do when what I realized when I came to Palace.
Yeah,
but coaches in general, I wouldn't say there was much difference in standard,
and that surprises me because when I play against you lot, I'm thinking, what are these guys doing in training?
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking you lot must be like doing mad possession drills.
Yeah.
Like shape work must be mad.
On what you just said, I think we did do more possession-based things and things like that. Yeah. And tight space kind of things as well.
Yeah.
More so than we did at Palace.
Yeah.
I don't really recall doing that as much as at Palace kind of thing. So
because I always used to think that though, because when we played against the better teams like a West Ham or Arsenal or Chelsea, I'd always be thinking, what are these men doing in training? Because their level, like Palace, we had a good academy.
Yeah.
But you guys were
like
just
a notch above. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Playing against Chelsea, I might be playing against Ruben or something, and like it's not like I remember we had a game at under 15s or under 14s, and Hiram was against Ruben, and Hiram done his thing that game. But then we'll play them again, and they'll just, as a team, they'll just
dominate. Kind of thing,
and I'm just like, what are they doing? Like, what are you man doing? You must be doing something different.
Yeah, and also I feel like we done a lot of like more one-to-one training as well.
Okay.
Like, so what we'll do at Chelsea is like kind of separate into groups. So we work into like maybe groups of 3, groups of 4, and then we have our time slots.
Right.
And we'll go out and just work on what specific more so. And I think at Palace we didn't do that much as well.
No, we
so
didn't,
it was more detailed kind of thing at Chelsea, I think. So like I say, we'll do more specific based things.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? In small groups. So you can get more out of it as well. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Cool, man. So you mentioned it before about England, getting scouted for England. So I kind of want to touch on that. That's a big thing, man. That's like every kid's dream.
Most definitely,
I remember crying that I could never get into the England team. How did it come about, like, initially?
Yeah, it's crazy, you know. So what happened is, I remember, obviously, we know Zach Answer and that from the ends and that.
Yeah.
And where is England do it a bit different to how we do it. So they do the year you're born. So for example, if you're born in 94, that's the England team, 94.
Team,
so that's like, it's basically 2 age groups combined into one. So you could be like an older 94 and you're a younger 94. So it could be like, for example, under 15 or under 16 combined to one. So I remember, obviously me and Zach used to talk a lot where he was at Arsenal, all that Chelsea kind of thing. And we was both from the same area, Lewisham. So it was like, we used to communicate quite a bit. And I remember he went England and he played Victory Shield. And I remember sitting there watching and I was thinking, this needs to be me. This needs to be me. So I remember the next day, I said to my mum, next year I'm going to be playing for England, you know. And my mum kind of says, whatever, what are you talking about? Because my mum didn't actually know England had younger age groups.
Oh, okay.
So she's thinking I'm saying I'm going to be playing for the senior team next year. Imagine a 15-year-old saying, oh, mum, I'm going to be playing. So she's thinking, oh, whatever, get out of here kind of thing. Anyway, we went to Night Cup.
Yeah, okay,
So this is where the dream started. So we went to Night Cup and I just knew that's a showcase. Do you get what I'm saying? There's loads of different teams.
There.
If you know Night Cup, you know Night Cup. Do you know what I'm saying? So every Premier League academy's there. Then there's so much different scouts for different clubs, scouts for England, scouts for Northern Ireland, scouts for Republic, like everybody you name
Cup,
it's there.
Everyone's there, yeah.
So I knew this was my chance to get scouted. So I said to myself, you know what? This is my time. So we went there, we put on because I went 2 years in a row. So I went the 94 season, but we done abysmal. I think we didn't even get through the groups. We done a terrible year. And then the 95 year, but 95's at Chelsea, we was always labelled as a great year group.
Yeah.
Obviously, like we had Ruben, we had John Swift, we had Lewis Baker, we had Nathan Aki. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So we had like our team was solid, very solid. So I thought, nah, this is my time to shine. So we went there and we got to the final. Played Newcastle in the final, but we fell short. They beat us. I think it was in penalties actually. But I got man of the match in the final as well. But throughout the whole tournament, I literally just dominated the defence because I was centre back and I was captain actually as well.
Okay.
So it's almost like I just completely dominated. And then I remember what happened. I think after the third game, my manager called me in, Joe Edwards. He actually works with the first team now actually at Chelsea. He called me in and he was like, Ali, England's looking at you. So just keep doing what you're doing. And I guarantee, because what it is, England do a camp. So before you go victory show, they do like a big trial camp. So with all the people they've selected, then they narrow it down kind of thing. So he was saying that basically you've got a big chance of going to the camp if you keep performing the way you're performing. So I thought to myself, this is crazy. Like, it's almost like I've just put it into the atmosphere and it's actually taking place. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just kept doing my thing. Anyway, at the end of the tournament, my manager pulled me in again. He said, yeah, you're definitely going to England, blah, blah, blah. So I was thinking, whatever. It didn't feel real until it's actually confirmed. Yeah. So I went home and whatever, about 2-3 weeks later, I got a letter through the door saying that I'm invited to the camp. Okay. And literally I was crying tears of joy. Like it was unreal because the fact that I kind of manifested it from a year before.
You spoke it into existence.
Seeing Sterling play and that. And I'm thinking, they're London boys. They're from the trenches just like us. You know what I'm trying to say? Why can't I do it? Do you know what I'm trying to say? And literally spoke it into existence and it came about. And then we went to the camp and then I got picked for the first game against Scotland. And then I played on Sky Sports and that. And then there was no looking back. I played England to under 18s.
Wow.
Yeah, so
when you... All right, so what was the camp like? Got to the camp, obviously... People who make the England camps at them ages, they're great predictors of some of the star players, you know, you're playing with some of the best players.
Definitely.
You're playing with the best players.
In England, for our age, yeah.
So when you get there, like, what was it like?
Oh, it was crazy. So, like, obviously I knew a few of the boys, though, just through, like, playing against each other over the years and things. Yeah. So, and then we just kind of became more friendly. So, and there was a few London-based boys, like Jordan Ibe, Leo Chambers. Leo doesn't play anymore, but he was actually the England captain at the time. 3 other London boys, so we all kind of migrated together. Yeah. Then we literally, and then everyone's kind of in the same boat. So everyone just starts talking kind of thing, do you know what I'm trying to say? And it was a bit nerve-wracking, it was, because it was like, like, we're here, like, this is England, we're all wearing the kit and that. I'm thinking, I'm playing for England, like, it's crazy. I remember we was on BBM those days. Yeah, so I remember taking pictures, putting it in my DP and that, and like the ends were getting like buzzing, like you get me, like the ends were proper behind me and that, so it was nice, man. And then we literally just played like a few games and that kind of thing. And I just thought, you know what, I've just got to do my thing. I'm here for a reason. Yeah. So I've just got to play the way I play. Yeah. And I shouldn't fall short. Do you know what I'm saying?
So who from that group? Obviously, you mentioned Jordan Ibe. What are some of the other names that are like currently like playing now? Luke Shaw,
Jack Grealish.
Oh wow, Jack Grealish was in your group,
yeah? My team, yeah. But it's funny, Jack Grealish went home early because what happened is he got a bit homesick.
Really?
Yeah, so he got homesick. I remember he got homesick and then he literally, he went home early.
Bro, that's nuts, okay.
So it was a bit fun. Then he started playing for Republic of Ireland. Yeah. And then he came back to England and now he's one of the best. So it's crazy.
Now everyone's calling for him to play every game of the Euros. That's nuts.
Yeah, so like I say, Luke Shaw, Jack Grealish, Callum Chambers.
Okay.
Callum Robinson. Yeah. Isaac Hayden. Yeah. Yeah, you name it. John Swift. There's loads and loads that haven't loads, man. Will Hughes.
Wow.
Yeah. Many.
So
loads of them in the Prem. Yeah,
that camp. That was a real
serious.
That year was a serious talented group. Wow.
Yeah. So there's a lot of talent.
No wonder I didn't get in that group. Because I'm a 95, innit?
Yeah,
but,
so you would have been
below
playing
in school.
And that's
exactly
it. That's how the England do it. Because I think that other countries do it like that.
Yeah,
so
they do it by year.
By year rather than by September to August. That's how we do it.
Don't you think that messes you up though? Because I should be training with your age group, really.
Yeah.
I should be playing with.
So it does mess
I'm a
up
95.
When you're a younger 95 or younger, it is definitely that little bit harder.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, because it's
unless you're playing up,
you're
you
not
don't
really
get seen.
Exactly that. So it's a little bit hard. But man, there was a lot of talented players. Yeah.
So like, speaking just from like a mentality point of view, when you've got to the camp now, obviously you've realised, okay, well, you must realise and you must know, okay, I'm one of the best players in the country. You must know that it is
a nice feeling, definitely, because you've been selected out of millions of players.
And obviously there's a lot of people that think they're the best, but you guys are getting picked, so you guys are the best. You know? So at that point, in terms of making it as a career and getting your pro contracts and stuff, was you like, did that kind of solidify the belief that I'm definitely gonna kind of make it, or was it kind of just like, it's just this is another thing I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna, it's just a part of the process?
It did solidify it in my head, definitely. I thought, I definitely thought I'd be a professional footballer.
Yeah,
maybe not a Premier League player,
but you'd be a player
in the league. Some way. Do you know what I'm saying? And then as I got older, I realised, like, this is crazy. And then started throwing flashbacks in my head, kind of thing, of like when the coaches used to say to you, like, hard work beats talent and things like that. I remember when they used to say that, I used to think it was so cliche and like a bit cringy. It's like almost like, I've heard this before.
Yeah.
But as you get older, you definitely realise that hard work does beat talent.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. We'll kind of get into that as you get older kind of thing. But so at the time, you definitely thought, this is part of the process. I'm gonna make it.
Most definitely. And I started kind of almost not taking schoolwork as serious,
right?
Because I thought, you know what, my future's set.
Your destiny.
Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Your destiny's there.
Do you know what I'm saying? Because I remember even that playing Victory Shield, coming back to school, and even coming back to the ends, I just felt famous.
Right.
Like it's like people have watched me on Sky Sports at 16 years of age, coming into school. Everyone's buzzing, teachers are buzzing.
Yeah.
Like it was a crazy experience, and I don't regret it. Like it still lives long with me. Like kind of thing. It's a brilliant experience.
And, that's one in a million, isn't it?
That's it.
Not a lot of people can say they've done
played
that
for their national country. Yeah, definitely.
Not a lot of people can say they've done that. So would you say it didn't make you complacent, but it kind of it did in a little bit,
in a sense, in the sense of, like I say about the schoolwork and things like that. I just felt like I didn't have to do it no more. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But
I mean, to be fair, you played for England, bro. If I played for England, I'd probably do the same thing. I felt like that, and I didn't play for England.
Yeah. So 9 times out of 10, people are naturally
it's gonna be like that.
Yeah,
I don't think.
Yeah.
Cool, man. So obviously you played England now. You got your scholar at Chelsea. When did you get offered your scholar?
At 16.
Okay, so you got it at 16, 2-year scholarship, and then you did 1 year there. Then you ended up coming to Palace, right? So in that 1 year, kind of what happened in that year, basically?
So in that year, I was playing the youth league a lot, youth cup, coming off of the bench a little bit. We won the youth cup that year actually as well.
Yeah, Chelsea win it every year.
So I was coming off of the bench because Toddy Kane, I was a right back, and Toddy Kane, not sure if you know Toddy Kane.
Yeah, I do.
I can't remember what team he plays for at the moment, but he's in the champ, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But he was a year above me. So he always had kind of first, he was the first on the sheet almost. Yeah. But I'd come on and things like that and contributed and that. So yeah, that was good. But then what happened is the second year, I got dropped. And it's funny, it was like almost history repeating itself. It was a little bit like Jason Yu in a way.
Yeah.
It was like I was playing, and then the second year where I feel like I'm almost expected to play, they started playing, I'm not sure if you know Fankati Dabo. And he's playing league football right now as well. Big up Dabs actually. My boy,
Coventry, innit?
That's it, yeah. So they started playing him over me. And I was just thinking, what's going on here kind of thing. So anyway, I went in with my dad and agent and spoke to Neil Bath, the head of the academy, and was just kind of asking questions as to like, rah, like I thought you had high expectations of me, kind of thing. I thought I was destined to play, like especially in my second year scholar, where almost like we're the more advanced ones, almost like the more like, do you get me?
Yeah.
So it was like, and he just said, "Oh, rah, they're testing Fanky out, whatever." So I thought, all right, cool. Let me give it like another couple of weeks, month, whatever. Nothing changed. So we went back in now, and we just said, you know what? For my development, but I'm gonna have to leave because it doesn't look like I'm in your plans anymore.
And it's crunch time in your second year.
So I'm in my second year scholar. I need to be getting a pro somewhere now. Like I have to be looking like time's running out kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it was maybe about October times. Then my agent pulled me out, and we had a few clubs to go to because obviously I was playing England at these times as well, and that was getting to me a bit as well. I'm thinking, I'm playing England and I can't even get into my club team. Like, what's going on here, kind of thing? Do you know what I'm trying to say? So I think West Ham were in for me, Tottenham and Crystal Palace. They were the three that showed the most interest, kind of thing. And then I ended up picking Palace. Obviously, as you know, that's when we linked up down at Palace. And sometimes I can't lie to you, I do think it might have not been the best decision, simply because I feel like I was too much in the ends. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And I feel like
if you was at Tottenham or West Ham, you would have been
a little bit away.
You would have been in digs, you would have been in digs though.
Them times wasn't driving, so it was like it would have been hard to commute. It would have been a bit long to commute. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. If you don't know what digs is, that means like a house by like club or something. They'll look after you.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So it was almost like I still would have been away. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
When I came Palace, then I started mixing with my friends again, and I think that played an element of not progressing as far as I should have as well. Do you get what I'm saying?
Because you're back in Catford.
That's it, back in. When I'm not training, I'm going parties, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Do you get what I'm trying to say? But it was promising when I came to Palace, because it was like I was training first team. I think Ian Holloway was the manager at that point. And he was a nice
guy as well. Like, out of all the managers, he was probably like the most you could
talk to, and he was just time for us.
Yeah,
as well,
he was just a cool guy. Yeah,
that's exactly it. And then obviously Pulis came in, and then things just literally just changed. You know what I'm trying to say? Stop playing with the first team, training with the first team. Sorry, and
Pulis was a bit different.
It was like I kind of just come out of the picture.
He was different though. He was a bit different.
Do you know what I'm saying? His personality was a bit closed off to us, I think. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
So from a mentality perspective, right? Because that's kind of what I always like to talk about, kind of what your mind state was like when Chelsea was over for you. Like, what was your mind state like? Like, how was you feeling? Obviously negative, but like, was it a thing where you was like, okay, fuck them guys, I'm gonna prove you guys wrong? Or was it just like, like you just kind of got over it, moving on, I'm gonna just make it at Palace now?
Yeah, good question. You know what? It's funny. I felt negative, definitely, and it was a sad situation as well, because as you know, I was at Chelsea for
a long time.
So it was almost like family. It was like all I knew kind of thing.
Yeah.
Most of my teenage years, and obviously their important years, it's like I was at Chelsea. Do you know what I'm saying? So it was definitely very sad, but I always felt like I would get into another team. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Because I've been at Chelsea, been at England, it's like my name was definitely ringing bells at that time. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So I never had fear that, it might not go right. Do you know? I always knew. And I did definitely, in answer to your question, I did definitely feel that I've got to prove them wrong.
Yeah.
And I've got to kind of make it to show them they've made a mistake, kind of thing. Do you know what I'm saying? And I always had it in my head that they're going to buy me back in the future. And that's another thing I had. I always thought, you know what? You don't want me now, but I'm going to go elsewhere and you're going to be coming back in for me. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Obviously, it didn't quite go to plan, but that's the mentality I had at the time. So
for sure.
Yeah.
So when you come to Palace in your second year, at the time, was it just a finish a scholar, or was it that there was a pro, 1 year pro?
I got the finished scholar, and then I had the year pro.
Oh, you had the year pro already?
Yeah.
So obviously, I was with you in your second year. Obviously, I got let go as a scholar. So what was the 1 year pro like when you started that professional contract? And you're like, okay, even though you're a professional player, might not be playing first team, but you're a pro. Like,
yeah, definitely.
Like when that started, that first pre-season, boom, boom, boom. Even though you with the 23s or 21s at the time.
Yeah, 21s at the time. Definitely,
What was that like for you? What was that year? What was that experience like for you as a pro?
It didn't. You know what? It didn't feel much different.
I just felt like
it just kind of felt like like a third year scholarship kind of thing. And I don't know if that's because the money wasn't massive, and maybe that played a factor as well. Because you always got the stereotype that when you're a professional footballer,
you're making
making a lot of money, and I was making a sufficient amount, but it wasn't crazy amount.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that played an element as to why it didn't feel much different.
Yeah.
But I just felt like I'm just still here, still under contract, still got to do what I've got to do to make it into the first team, obviously, and that was the intentions kind of thing.
Yeah.
So as I say, the same rules applied almost. You get what I'm trying to say? Nothing really changed. You know what I'm saying?
And you were still was you still in contact with your friends at Chelsea?
Yeah, definitely.
Did you ever feel like, from a mental perspective, kind of you was ever comparing your situation to guys over there?
Most definitely, yeah. And I think that's what had me down for a little bit as well. Because it was like, I felt like I should still be there in a way. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So that when I'm at Palace now, it's like, I'm at Palace, but I still feel, my heart still feeling like I should be at Chelsea still. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So I felt a little bit away a little bit. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, that's natural. Bro.
Yeah.
So then you kind of spoke about it as well in terms of kind of being back in the area and West Ham, Tottenham, Palace, and you chose Palace. Do you think that, like, what were some of the distractions, or not even distractions, but things that could have potentially held you back? Because I don't even like to call them distractions, right? Because we know guys that they go out, they drink, they do a madness, and they still made it.
Yeah, 100%. And I have this debate with my dad all the time.
I don't like to call it distractions, because it's not, bro. Me, man, I don't smoke. I never really drank that much. I never used to drink before training for sure. I'd barely stay up late. I didn't make it.
I didn't make it.
And I'm a guy that I want to do extras all the time. I'll be doing extras, blah, 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 extra fitness. I'll do it. But I didn't make it. So I know that that's bullshit.
Definitely.
Obviously, there's an element to it,
of course.
But it's bullshit.
But it is, it's not bullshit. It's not actually factual.
It's bullshit, because so much of it is luck.
And that's what I was going to get to. Is it, you know what? What I've noticed, football is a massive dose of luck. It's a big dose of luck.
So much luck.
You know what I'm saying? Because when you get to a certain level, everyone is near enough the same ability.
Yeah, everyone's talented,
everyone's talented. Do you know what I'm saying? Obviously, there's good, better, best, of course, but everyone is around about the same ability. So there becomes a dose of luck in it as well. Yeah. So 100%, I agree with you.
Because there's so many. It's like timing, the right coach. Did you perform on a certain day when a specific scout or chairman was watching?
That's exactly it. That's exactly
all these little elements got to line up at the right
time. You hit it on the head. The right coach. Because we even see it, even in the Prem, we see it, where a manager might come in and they completely destroy a player.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? We've seen Mourinho done it with Shaw, and Shaw's bounced back massively, shout out Shaw, and now even Dele Alli. Do you know what I'm saying? Mourinho came in and messed up. So there's examples of showing you that a manager does have a big impact on how you do. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
But in terms of distraction, I definitely did go out more than that. Now I look back, like in hindsight, I'm saying that maybe I shouldn't have gone out as much as I should have. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And things like that. Yeah. But I definitely agree with you, and that's how I battle with myself. And then I'm looking at man that I was going out with, and they're playing on the screens now.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm trying to say?
I always think it as well, though.
So it's a bit of a weird one.
Because people say it like, yo, if you live like a robot, like you're in grammar school and you just bed, train, eat right, da-da-da. That's not true, man.
No. It might hire your chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might hire your chance.
But it's not true,
man.
It's
not true. It's not true. Yeah, it's not.
I think it's a bit of a myth.
Yeah.
I know, man, that are smoking, bro.
Yeah.
Smoking.
And they're playing professional.
And they're playing football,
Yeah.
Drinking before game day.
Yeah.
And they're still turning up. Manager don't even care.
Yeah. Things
you
like
alright, mate? Yeah. And he's getting in. I'm like, bro, you guys taking the piss, man.
Nah, it's true. And that shows the element of luck. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
And I don't know about you, but sometimes I felt like, bro, when it comes to the football, sometimes it wasn't even an ability thing. Sometimes it's like your personality around the club.
Most definitely. That has a massive
I always
impact.
think, why the fuck does that even matter, bro?
Yeah.
We're kicking ball.
So that shouldn't matter on the field.
Yeah.
But then that comes back to me now of where I am in my present is being a coach.
Right.
And now I do understand that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm trying to say? Because I see it in the reverse now.
Yeah.
And I definitely do get how a personality can make a massive difference. Yeah. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So it's funny because at the time I was with you, I was thinking, what's going on? We're here to play football. we're not here to be having a jolly up, and do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
But it does have an impact.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then.
All right. So cool. So you did the year. Was you playing much in your year as a pro?
20, yeah.
So you played in the 23s.
Yeah, 20,
Was it 21s at the time?
21s at the time. Because I think they changed it to 23s.
A bit later,
about
innit?
a year or two after, yeah.
So you was playing pretty much every game at right back. And then after that year, or not after the year, but as that season's coming to a close, obviously you're waiting to find out if you're going to get an extension. And that was
times as well, yeah.
So what was that situation like when it's coming to an end?
What happened is, and this is what football's like. 1 minute you can be on the up, and the next minute is like a week later you on a different side of things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And what happened is, I remember that season I assisted quite a lot from right back position. I remember I ran up about maybe like 10 assists, 11 assists.
Yeah.
And I remember Gary Izzard.
Yeah.
He pulled me in and he was like, well, if you keep playing the way you're playing, like there's no way that you won't
get another year at least.
Like another year, or even kick on and
be with the first team.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? And then that was around maybe December time. So I was thinking, okay. Like I'm set kind of thing. And I remember it was at March times that we was finding out. Do you know what I'm saying? So I was thinking, yeah, I'm set. And then literally about 2 months later, I wouldn't even say my performance dipped. I just wasn't assisting as much.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm trying to say? But I was still having some solid performances and that. But then I was kind of getting the vibe. They haven't said anything to me yet. And I'd spoken to a few of the other boys. Yeah. Obviously giving them that extra year or extra 2 years, whatever.
And you always know when they're getting it earlier.
Yeah, because you can always feel the atmosphere as well. Do you know what I'm saying? Like boys are coming in and saying they got this and that. And I'm thinking, hold on a minute, I haven't been spoken to.
Yeah.
So then I'm thinking, then you start kind of trying to keep yourself positive. So you're telling yourself, oh, maybe they haven't quite made a decision, so they're still looking. But in the deep of your mind, you kind of know that, well, if they're giving it out, they know who they want.
They know who they want.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? Yeah. So I was almost fearing the worst when this was going on. So anyway, they pulled me in. I remember, I'll never forget, it was Pulis and Gary. They've pulled me into the office and then they've sat down with me and just kind of broken it to me that they won't be renewing my contract. And I remember that I felt like my whole world just shook. Do you get what I'm saying? Because I've left Chelsea, I've come to Palace, done maybe a year and a half, 2 years at Palace. And when I left Chelsea, I've always thought, at whatever team I go to next, I'm going to bust them.
Yeah, of course.
So then when I'm hearing this now, it was like a dark cloud just come over me. And it was like, what is going on? Like, where do I go from here? Do you get what I'm saying? And things got a little bit worse as well. So it wasn't just that. My agent that had been with me for since I was about under 14, under 15, he stopped agencying. So then someone else in the company took me over. Okay. So again, relationship's not the same.
Yeah, you're working with someone else.
Now having to build a relationship. He might not care about me as much as the other guy did and things like that. So after Palace now, didn't get much trials. I think I went to maybe 2-3 trials, league teams.
So where did you go?
Yeah, so I went to Dagenham and Redbridge. Okay. I went to Colchester. And I went to, I can't remember what other team. I think it was Leyton Orient I went to. And all of the 3 didn't get offered. And I was just thinking, this can't be it. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? And I'm going there, training my heart out. And I'm thinking, even when I'm there, I'm thinking the ability isn't great. Like I should walk into this team. Yeah. And then that's when I started noticing the real politics of football. Do you get what I'm saying? I'd say probably that's when I actually really, I always knew there was politics. Yeah. But this is when I really noticed that like there's some serious...
Yeah, like it's not normal,
this isn't normal. This isn't a normal world. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Because obviously I was go there as a right back and the right backs that are playing, I'm thinking they're old men. Yeah. Like they're tired. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Didn't get anything. And then that's when I dropped into the non-league and started playing semi-professional. Yeah. Then I've just been there ever since.
Yeah. That's mad. So... Yeah, I know what you mean, man. The trial situation. And I always feel like when you go on trial, you've kind of lost before you got there.
Yeah, sometimes it is you're facing a losing battle. Yeah, the battle's lost already.
You're going on trial, but like they're not even actually looking at you. You're just there making up the numbers.
And that's how you feel sometimes as well. They're not really looking at you. Yeah. You're there for the training. Yeah. You get what I'm saying?
So it's like, you might as well, if you're not going to sign, just sign me. If you're not going to sign me,
just forget it.
Yeah. It's kind of a waste of time. And I wish I knew that.
Yeah.
I wish I knew that when I got let go because I didn't know that. I'm just going bare places. Going bare places. And the other, traveling, getting trained, going mad places on my ones. Yeah. Thinking, they're looking at me. They're not really.
They're not really. Nah, that's exactly it. Yeah.
Because like you, I went to Yeovil. I went to Cheltenham. I went to where else did I go? I went to Dagenham and Redbridge as well. Actually, we played an in-house game with their first team. I remember, and I think it was. I feel like attacking players, right? We kind of base things on if we're scoring or assisting. Bro, every trial, my mother's life, bro, she's in there. Every trial I scored.
Yeah.
Every trial I scored.
And it didn't make no difference.
So I'm like, bro, you didn't watch me then.
Yeah, like, what more did I need to do?
Yeah,
No,
every trial. I remember when I went to Dagenham and Redbridge, we did an in-house game with their first team. It was like first team and their like younger players mixing. And I bagged 2 goals, got an assist. And I was playing out wide. These times I was a striker, but I was playing out wide. And I'm thinking, I'm guaranteed they got to offer me something.
Yeah, something at least.
They got to offer me something. Chatting to the assistant manager, he's like, oh, we ain't got a budget. Why'd you bring me if you ain't got a budget?
Yeah, so then you knew that. Why
are you bringing me if you ain't got a budget?
Yeah, no, most definitely.
Why would you bring someone, a kid, 18, he's dying to get back into the game? And you ain't got a budget. What? Why the clubs do that, bro?
Yeah, it don't make sense,
bro.
Yeah,
and I think another thing, I got a question for you as well. In terms of like when you got let go, what was the support like after from Palace?
And that's a funny thing. And again, just the other day, I was talking to, I think it was my dad or one of my bedrooms, and I was saying that there needs to be more done. There definitely needs to be more done with support, and that's not just Palace. I'm talking about overall in football, everywhere in football, because it's almost like they build you up, they drop you, and you're forgotten about. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And it's like for young boys or young men, I should say, it's so much for your mental health.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Because you've grown up always thinking you're going to be this, that, and the other, and then you're just let go like that, and there's no support system.
Yeah.
You're just left in the gloomy world by yourself, and you've now got to think what you've got to work out what you got to do to get by. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
And like before that kind of ended, was you aware of any other interest that you had in life? Because I always felt like when I got let go, at that time, I mean, I used to love music. I had music videos. I had so many videos. And Ben pulled me in the office one time when I was 14 because I had a video on Rap City or whatever.
Oh, you used to rap, yeah?
Yeah, so I had so many videos. But then when he pulled me in the office, I kind of just put it on the back burner for a little bit. So apart from music, I didn't really have any other interest. And it was because of football.
Yeah. So that took everything.
Yeah, I never had any other interest. So did you have anything else that you could actually
think of? Likewise, like yourself, I had nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. My world was football.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, I didn't even give anything else a try.
You didn't give nothing a try, innit?
Because I just thought football is my life.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? So.
And I think that I learned that now, and it's too late now. It's not too late, but as a big man, it's a bit harder. That it took me so long when I moved to America, I really learned a lot more just about kind of life outside of football, and it took me so long to like want to do other stuff, bro.
Yeah,
I'm just like I just want to play football.
Yeah, you just want to play football. That's it. And that's
it's like conditioning, bro.
That's exactly and like what you just said. It's about accepting.
Yeah,
and it's hard to accept.
Yeah,
do you know what I'm trying to say? Because I struggled to accept. I think I was depressed for maybe after Palace. I was definitely depressed for about 8-9 months.
Really?
Like severely depressed. Like it was like I just didn't know what to do because I wasn't working. So it was literally I was sitting at home waiting for my agent to call me to say I'm going somewhere. Months were going by, wasn't going anywhere. Yeah. Or I'd have one trial, then maybe like 3 months goes by, and then another trial. Then it's down to me to keep fit myself. Because remember, I'm not training nowhere. Yeah. So it's like I've got to run around the block and that, and it was just getting mentally draining. Yeah. Do you know what I'm trying to say? No. And then that goes back into what you're saying. I think there needs to be more done with support networks. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. Because I remember just the other day, or I say the other day, it might have been about a year ago now. Did you hear about the Man City
kid who took his own life?
He took his own life.
Yeah.
Because of it, because he got released and it shows you. It plays on your mental.
I definitely think, I had a dark time. I don't know if I wouldn't say I was depressed because I don't know, but I definitely, when I got let go, so basically at the time, David Moyes' son was my agent, innit?
Yeah.
And he told me before I got let go, he actually told me that they already told him, like maybe like a month before. So I was going into, but he said, don't say anything. But
so he didn't say nothing to you?
He told me.
Oh,
he told me, don't say nothing.
Okay,
they told him, Gary had told him.
Yeah.
He was like, just keep training, keep playing, because they're still playing. Because I was still playing. I was still the main striker in the 18s. And then So, but in my mind, I remember he called me. I just finished training as well. I'm sitting in my car and I'm thinking, this is a bit mad. But I kind of felt it.
Yeah.
Because there's so many changes were happening at Palace at the time that I just felt it. Like that year, obviously in your second year, they got promoted, didn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
As I was a second year scholar, the club was just changing like mad,
Yeah,
didn't it?
like obviously the money came in.
The club, there's so many players, everything was changing. Youth team, I had about 3 different managers. They kicked the youth team off the training ground. We had to train all these. I just knew.
I remember
They were treating us so mad. I was like, this ain't gonna last. I know I ain't getting a pro here. So I knew it, but it's different between knowing it and being told it.
Told it, exactly.
Yeah.
When it's confirmed, it's cemented now.
Yeah.
You get what I'm trying to say? Whereas,
I remember like, okay, cool. I'm good. I've done this. And then I tore my meniscus as well. And I remember I was sitting right there, bro, sitting on the steps. And I was training just on my ones outside, just sitting on the steps. And I remember I just started crying, bro. Just started crying, boom, 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 just bawling.
Yeah.
It came out of nowhere. So I didn't really feel, I felt like, I'll deal with this, innit? I'm a striker, bro. I just got to go somewhere and score a goal. That's all I'm thinking. I'm sitting there and I'm bawling. My mum comes out. She's like, don't worry. Like, mums are like,
yeah, of course.
But she caught me in that moment, innit? Because I'm thinking like, she won't see me in that. I just get over this real quick.
She's obviously happened to
And that was probably like, when it happened, that was probably like the darkest I got. But after I kind of let it out and I was like, all right, it's done now, innit?
But that's it. It's about letting it out, man.
It's done, man. 10 years at Palace, down the drain.
Yeah, that's it.
No support. Not one person from the club's ever called me.
No, not at all.
But it's done now, innit? I've had to. That's a part of the game. So I think, I don't even know where I was going with that. But like that moment, like I think for me, once I kind of had that breakdown, I realised, like, okay, cool.
It's time to look forward now, innit?
Like, this is it, innit?
Yeah, you have to do something.
And I think what was building up my frustration is that I went on all these trials and I scored all these goals and I'm still being told, I ain't got a budget.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
and like what you just said, why bring me?
Why bring me?
You haven't just found out now that you don't have a budget. You've known.
And then, like you said, with the politics thing, I think that's when I kind of realised as well, like, this game is just mad political.
It's full of it. And like I say, it was after Palace where I definitely realised that this game, I started even falling out of love. I'll be real to you. I started thinking, this is dead.
Yeah.
Like, I'm coming to play football to show my ability. I'm showing my ability, but my ability is not enough because you like the next brother. Yeah. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah. So it's like, do you get what I'm saying?
No, it's
and
true,
it become frustrating and things like that. But I mean, you just move forward and it's God's plan, man. You know?
For real.
So
yeah, man. So like, I've been saying this. I've said this in all the football podcasts that I've had so far. And I always say, like, to this day, you still had a pro contract, so you still lived people's dreams.
Yeah,
innit?
Of course.
Like, there's people been posting that. I don't even seen that picture that's been circulating, like 1 in a million kids to make it.
Yeah, I think I did see it on the blogs actually.
Become a pro, so like you did that, so you still did that, and that's something you should still like pat yourself on the back for. But what I've been saying, like I said it to T, I said it to H, is like even now, as a big man, I don't think personally I will ever accept it. That I didn't make it, and I'm rinsing it because I've said it so many times. But I think I can kind of accept, that's not going to be my destiny. But I'll never accept that I didn't achieve my first dream.
Of course, and I don't think you ever do.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, do you feel that way as well?
Nah, and it's funny, because I don't feel like I fully accept it. I've just learned to deal with it now.
Right.
Do you get me? I've learned to feel like, all right, cool. That was a part of my life, a good journey, and I've got many memories from it, so I don't regret it at all. Do you know what I'm saying? But I haven't fully accepted, I'd say. I feel like I've just getting on with things, you know what I'm trying to say? It still frustrates me now and again, you know what I'm saying? Like, but again, that's life.
I think now for me, it doesn't even frustrate me anymore. Like it used to. Like I didn't want to watch TV. I didn't want to watch football, especially when I moved to America. Oh my God, because they don't, obviously the Americans, they don't really know. Like, so they'll be asking me, like I'll see Ruben on the TV. Man was playing against him the season before. I got out there. And they'll be asking me about these guys, and I'm just like, fuck off.
Yeah, you don't even want to talk about it.
I don't want to talk.
It's true. It's true. And it's funny, because like, when I meet people and that, I never discuss it.
Right.
Never discuss it. Like, unless obviously if we're talking about like they might get into football and then it might come up, but I mean, I never intend to discuss it.
Right, you don't actively go out to...
I kind of miss it out in a way, because it's just like, I don't want to discuss it. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's part of my past life now, you know what I'm saying?
Do you think like do you think there'll ever be a time that you can accept it, or just like?
You know what? It's funny. Maybe I need to go back. I have accepted it. Because now, obviously, like, as you know, what we'll probably get onto is me doing the coaching and all of that and things like that. Yeah. So I'm still heavily involved in football, but it's just on the other side of it now. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So I shouldn't say I haven't accepted it. I have accepted it. But like I say, every now and again, I just like reminisce.
Yeah, like it's still inside of you. I'm trying to say,
yes. I shouldn't say I haven't accepted it, but I do reminisce every now and again.
It's still inside of you.
And I think that's only natural. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Because I don't think I've accepted it, but I think that I've just learned to just kind of be like, okay, that was a part of the process, innit? Like that destiny wasn't for me. And then, like I said, another thing is like I've over time, and I think really living in America really helped me with this.
Most definitely, yeah, I can imagine.
Over time, I just allowed myself to have multiple goals in it.
Yeah.
Like, okay, that was one goal, but let me have another goal now. Yeah, so onto that with the A-star goals. Kind of talk to me about what is A-star goals, like what is it right now, and what kind of got you into it?
That's it. Okay, so obviously, what got me into A-star goals is obviously what we've been talking about for the whole time, and is that I've grown up playing football. Football's all I know, and then dropping out of Palace and that. Then, funny enough, Chelsea employed me back. Okay. So I'm still down at Chelsea. Okay. So I work part-time down there doing the development centres and things like that with the younger boys. So I started doing that after Palace, actually. So that was maybe, 2021? Started doing that. Then I done it for a few years and I thought, you know what, I can make my own business out of this. You get what I'm trying to say? Doing like extra intense training with the boys, this, that, and the other. So then I thought, you know what, sat down with my mum and that, and I said, Mum, I need to do something that's mine.
Yeah,
you get what I'm trying to say? Own, yeah. Something that's my own, something related with football that I know well. Do you get what I'm saying? So my mum kind of suggested, this, that, and the other. Kind of, obviously I do coaching, so think of something to do with coaching. So I thought to myself, you know what, let me execute that. So we're sitting down, thinking of different names, this, that, and the other. And we came up with A-star goals. Because obviously my name's Alastair kind of thing. So I thought it kind of links to my name.
Yeah,
and the goals, obviously, goals means a lot of things. Because goals, you score goals in football. And obviously, like you said, you have goals in life that you want to achieve.
100.
So it kind of relates to a lot. So I thought the name kind of all makes sense for many different reasons. You know what I'm trying to say? So I went through with it and I started it and launched it November 2019. And it's come along chumps. So what it is, in answer to your question, is I do different one-to-ones, do group sessions, and it's just extra training sessions for the boys that in clubs, in grassroots, that want to come and just do like extra training, extra intense training.
Yeah. And then from your experience, obviously you've played with some of the best young players in the country. So how important is it for the kids to be doing the extra work outside of just 2 times a week with their club?
Most definitely. It's vital, definitely vital. Because growing up, funny enough, when I look back, I don't think I had done enough extra training when I think about it. Because I remember after training, I'd just be happy to go home and chill, be with my friends and have like leisure time almost. Whereas now I look back and I realise that it's vital because 2 times a week isn't enough.
Not enough.
It's not enough. If you want to get to the top level, 2 times a week is nowhere near enough.
Yeah.
And I know stats definitely show that the ones that have worked harder, like the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi and that, they definitely work a lot harder than the average person. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So it is very vital.
Yeah. And even I'm probably repeating myself here, but I remember Tariq was mentioning it before. Like even if it's not extra ball work, it could be extra strength and conditioning and
That's
stuff.
That's it. Yeah, it doesn't have to be. Yeah.
I remember him mentioning one of his teammates. It might have been at Bristol Rovers or Plymouth or something. And they used to, when they were training, there was a fullback, and like he would just be so quick. He wasn't like a fast player with a ball, but giving the ball, put it down the line, he was mad quick. And I remember he was saying, he asked him one day, like, why are you so quick? And the guy was like, when I was younger, every Tuesday I had a sprint coach.
Okay.
Like an actual sprint coach, innit? Not even football related.
Yeah, so it was
just
actually
a sprint
working
coach.
on sprinting. Yeah.
And what I realised is, I don't want to go too far off topic, but we're never really taught how to sprint. And in
100%.
football, you know.
And it's so funny you say that actually, because sorry to cut, but it's at Chelsea, we actually did have a sprint coach come in.
Okay.
And it's
That's
funny.
why you man are the best, bro.
And it's funny because when they came in, I was thinking, what's going on here? Like, I didn't even know sprint coaches exist. I thought that was obviously just for athletics.
Like
and that,
athletics, innit?
the actual man that are running, like Bolt and that.
Yeah.
So when they came in, then they started teaching us different techniques, and we had to like obviously execute the techniques. And I was thinking, raw, like there's actually techniques of sprinting. And little things that can make you not even like a fraction of a second quicker, but it makes a huge difference
in the game,
do you know what I'm trying to say? So it's definitely important that you do those sort of things as well. Yeah, definitely, man.
So right now, like so it does the level you work with all levels, academy, grassroots.
So all levels.
And all ages too.
Everyone, all age groups, that's it. Yeah.
Cool. And so right now right now, are you working with any academy players?
Yeah, I've got a few. Again, most of the academy boys are the young ones, so like the under 8s, under 9s kind of thing. The under 8s have just got signed. Then obviously the under 9s that have been there for a season or two. So, many different clubs and that. That I work with. Yeah,
cool, man.
Young and up and coming, man, definitely.
And then like in terms of obviously you said you launched it in 2019. Then we had the pandemic that probably didn't help.
That's it.
In terms of like where you're trying to take it. What's kind of the vision? What's kind of the vision behind it?
You know what? That's a good question, man. Because I've got many thoughts. Like sometimes I even think about like going into schools and taking it into schools. But sometimes I just think like maybe then I have other thoughts. I think maybe turn it into like a grassroots team and make it like a feeder team for Chelsea. So I've got many different ideas at the moment, but I haven't actually like put my finger on one just yet, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's like but I definitely want it to grow massively and. Eventually, I sit back and I just have like coaches doing it kind of thing. I'm just kind of looking over it kind of thing. And I want it like...
All right, just had a little blip there. Camera died because it was overheating. But yeah, just carrying on from where we left off in terms of the vision. So you mentioned about taking it into schools. Yeah,
looking for like the best talent maybe in like different areas and...
Yeah, or maybe making a team. What about kind of what we spoke about in terms of maybe player support, player care,
it's funny, you know, because I have thought about that as well, because I definitely think that's a big loophole right now. I know there's different organisations trying to do that, but I know that there's no one that's actually executed it just as
there's not like one.
Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Place
so everyone's still fighting to be that top place, so there's definitely contenders for that. Do you know what I'm saying? And I might actually think to look into that. Because, like I say, we definitely need more of that. Definitely for the youth.
And I think it could be it could be quite simple in terms of the way it's set up. It could just be, you know, you offer, you know, courses, you offer, you know, coaching opportunities,
100%,
just extra stuff outside of football, and then even just personal development stuff. Even therapy, because
and that's it, and that's a big one. Therapy, and that goes unsaid, but definitely.
And then you make partnerships with the football clubs, because the football clubs don't want to do it. They're not going to do it.
All they're caring about is bringing through the next talent.
Yeah, who's the next talent?
They don't care about
who's gone,
Do you get what I'm trying to say? Do you know what I'm saying?
So I think that's definitely something that you could do. That would be really good. Cool, man. So I got one question actually, outside of everything we just spoke about. So obviously, Spectrum Fit, it's all about health and fitness. Right now, how important is health and fitness to you right now? Training.
Very important.
Cool, man. And then are there any like side projects, even outside of sports, like anything else that you're kind of working on?
Not just as yet, you know, but I have a few things in mind that I won't disclose just here. But definitely a few things that I have in the line.
Cool, man. And then I always ask all my guests this now, as of recently. Right now, sitting here, what is one piece of advice you would give to your younger self?
Good question. One piece of advice that I'd probably give to my younger self is stay focused. And leave out all the distractions. Nothing isn't running anywhere. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's just the simple fact is, because I always lived like things were running away. Going out, running away, girls running away. Do you get what I'm saying? They're not running anywhere. Do you get what I'm trying to say? They're always going to be there.
Always.
So I think to my younger self, I definitely stay focused. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, that's big, man.
Yeah, definitely.
That's big. All right, bro, man. I want to thank you big time for jumping on the podcast.
No
I'm going to
worries,
leave
man.
all your details for A-Star and to follow
Definitely, yeah,
you
man. Put them
personally
there. Yeah.
in the description. So, guys, if you're in the South London area, even if you're in the London area,
That's it.
you need some
Anyway.
one-to-one football coaching. The Chelsea coach, former Chelsea player, former Palace professional. So it's a top level coaching. And if you've got a kid, everybody knows now it's not training twice or 3 times
That's
a week.
it,
It's the
definitely.
extra stuff outside of that. Project Mbappe and all that kind of stuff.
That's it, 100%.
So yeah, please like, share, and subscribe. Also, I forgot, I'm gonna have to put this at the start, but if you're watching this and you want to win yourself a Spectrum Fit t-shirt, all you have to do is screenshot, share on your story, tag me, and I'm gonna send you a t-shirt. Simple, easy to do. That's it. All right. Peace, Ali.
Out.
Thank you so much for joining me.
Man.
Appreciate it. Spectrum of Health podcast over and out.
That's it.